So we're going to be starting on drawing A4. So we're going to be starting on drawing A4. Okay, so drawing A4, first thing we have to do is label. So I'll label my front view, we have this little arch. Okay. Now in our side view, we have that dotted line. Okay. So dotted lines are hidden lines. We don't see them, but they give us information. The side view would actually just be that. And the same holds true for our top view. Those dotted lines, you don't see them, but they provide information. It's one big top view. All right. Now, if you're wondering, what information do they tell us? They tell us that there's a change in thickness. So my side view is looking at the object in that direction. So below that dotted line, it's a certain thickness. Above that dotted line, it's a different thickness. So kind of think of it like X-ray vision. You'd be able to see where something changes thickness, where there's a notch cut out, where there's a hole through an object. So same thing with our top view. Our top view looks from this direction. And in our top view, all the way on the left, it's a certain thickness. Then in the middle section, different thickness. Then all the way over on the right, it changes that. That's why there are two dotted lines in our top view, because there are two transitions. So it changes thickness twice. Okay. So we have everything labeled. Good. Now, measurements. So which one of you can tell me the height of this shape? What's the height of this shape? Ian?
1/2.
Yes, so it would just be 2/4, which is the same as 1/2. Okay. What about the width? What's the width of this object? So Brad, do you know the width of this object? Okay, so the width of this object is 4/4. Width would just be 4/4. The same as 1/2 inch. And lastly, the length. The length is 3/4. So I'm hoping that you guys can find the measurements at this point on your own. And hopefully you can also make your boundary boxes on your own. So if you're still struggling with drawing your boundary box, which is just a rectangular solid with these three measurements. Okay. Well, this is what it would look like. So okay. It'd be a height of 2. It'd be a width of 4. And then length of 3. find the back corner, take a length of 3 from here, and a width of 4 from there. So hopefully you can draw your boundary boxes. Now, if you're still struggling with getting your measurements or getting your boundary boxes, okay, a reminder, I still have the same office hours on Wednesday, 1:30 to 2 p.m. And I also have office hours on the other days now as well. So I have office hours first period on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay. So obviously on days that you go to class, you wouldn't be able to come because you have a first period class. But on the days that you're not Zooming in, okay, if you need help with anything or if you're confused on something, you can jump on to my office hours link, okay, and ask me any questions. I can work through any confusion. All right. So once you guys have that boundary box, the next step would be to actually fill it in with our shape. Our boundary box was 2 high, 4 wide, 3 long. And all of our different views, our front, side, and top, they each just have one section. There's only one front section, there's only one side section, there's only one top section. So it doesn't really matter which one we start with. They're all pretty simple. So let's look at our side. Our side view is 2/4 high by 3/4 long. And that's exactly what our boundary box is. So our side view is done. Right. Take a look at our top view. Our top view is just a rectangle that is 4/4 wide by 3/4 long. Exactly like our boundary box. Our top view is done. So our side and top are done. Now, our front view. Our front view is not just a rectangle, so we will have to draw some. And let's take a look at it by edge. So the upper edge is right here. That's the full 4/4 wide. Okay, so just like our boundary box. So the top edge doesn't change. Look at the left edge here. It's 2/4 high, just like our boundary box. So our left edge doesn't change. The right edge here, it's 2/4 high, just like our boundary box. The right edge does not change. Now the bottom edge. Bottom edge I can see is only 1/4 inch long on the left. I'm sorry, 1/4 inch wide on the left and 1/4 inch wide on the right. So I need to draw those corners. I need to draw this corner right here and that corner right there. They're each 1/4 inch from the edge. So go 1/4 inch in from the left, 1/4 inch in from the right. Those are those two corners. Now I need to find my other two corners up here, this corner and that corner. And seeing as where they are in relation to the ones I just drew, they're each directly above the corners I just plotted down. And they're 1/4 inch up from me. Straight up 1/4 inch right there. Straight up 1/4 inch right there. Okay. And now we have to connect them together. And that would be our front view. You can see that arch shape in our front view. Okay, now there are two things that I have to do before I'm done with this. Anyone know what one of them would be? There are two things I have to do. Does anyone know what one of them would be before I'm done with this? Ian?
You have to get rid of the line at the bottom of,
Yes. So yes, I had to get rid of this line right here. I have to erase that. Okay, so that was one of the things I had to do. Now the other one is kind of tricky. So I'm actually going to draw it, and then I'm going to explain why I drew it. So we'll actually need another line. In this corner right here, back to there. The reason that we have to draw that line is because of the angle that we're viewing it at. In our 3D image, we're viewing it at a specific angle, and we'd actually be able to see the inner wall of that arch. So that line shows that inner wall of that arch.